Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspired disorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Swipe Up, the 132nd episode of the show where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. Let's get it started, shall we, with this post here. The schools are opening back up. Specifically some middle schools and high schools. I know elementary schools are opening back up for like hybrid classes where you're going to school like a couple days a week and you're doing the online stuff the rest of the time. So far, I haven't heard of anything, any kind of outbreaks happening. I guess it's for some people, it's definitely almost impossible to homeschool your kid while trying to go to work since, things didn't get shut down the way they should have gotten shut down, where the government just paid us to stay home, like all the other kind of countries around the world, all the developed nations pretty much did the right thing to help keep you safe and keep you from having to put yourself in risk. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, a lot more people are getting vaccinated. My roommate has gotten the first shot already. I'm looking to hopefully get my first shot somewhat soon. I've started to look at places to try and get it. So we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get it pretty soon. But yeah, school's opening up. I mean, we are towards the end of the year. So I don't know. I'd be nervous to let my kid go to school. But then again, I don't have kids, so I don't have to make that choice. I just think the kids that are going to be going to school are kids of parents that don't believe this thing is real, and because of that, their kids will probably not be taking the appropriate precautions because they would be doing something that their parents don't even believe in doing. So I don't know. And I don't know how strict these schools are. I'm sure different schools, different stuff, different teachers. I'm sure there's probably plenty of teachers that think it's a hoax as well, which is disturbing to think that anybody who would have the same kind of beliefs or thought processes of the former president are also in charge of educating kids is a nightmare. But it is what it is. Hopefully, we'll be back to normal soon. Hopefully, the new variants of everything do not cause another outbreak, which could easily happen. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. All right, let's move on now to a little piece of news. I'm sure everybody heard there was a person that tried to attack the Capitol again, along with a lot of mass shootings that have been happening. Surprise, surprise. But there's a car tried to attack the Capitol building again, resulting in that person's death. But they were able to attack some of the Capitol police. I believe one of the police officers died from injuries due to that. I haven't heard any updates on what it is. I've heard people covering it, not call it a terrorist attack, which I just think is ridiculous. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why aren't we labeling all of these domestic terrorist attacks and mass shootings as such? Because they are. I mean, just because they're white people doesn't make it okay. Doesn't make it something different than domestic terrorism. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. It's also insane to come across, because I'll come across videos online, or even certain podcasts will highlight certain videos that I watch or listen to that show just how mentally deranged people are. Like, some people just so unwilling to believe the truth that they think that Biden is an actor and like he's not even in the White House, that Trump is still running things. I don't know. Like, it's so convoluted, the realities that these people are living in. They're so surreal how they think that these unorganized people could be so massively organized and then so so like to do like a simple thing, like to go through so much effort to just pretend that Trump is still president or not president. I don't know. It's a level of delusion that just confuses me. And it's sad that there's so many of those people who voted. Like it's insane. And not only just people that believe that, which is one part of it, but there's people that will vote Republican so staunchly, they'll be so on board with whatever Republicans do that they will still vote Republican despite like complete insanity being in charge. It's just it's insane. It's mind blowing how much support such evil people have. Um, but let's move on now to just something that I thought was really cool. Doug Benson, stand up comedian. He also loves movies. Has a podcast with such name, Doug Loves Movies, and he's been going to. He went to go see Nobody, the new movie out, just in theaters, exclusively in theaters, with Bob Odenkirk, from Better Call Saul. Action kind of movie, looks like a John Wick-esque kind of a thing. But they had an outdoor, drive-in situation to premiere the film, and they had a whole experience while driving through. I guess you drove through Universal, the backlots of Universal, and they had like these live action actors going in the background, which I would imagine is somewhat related to the movie or whatever. So when you're going in to drive into this drive-in theater to watch this movie, they have this whole experience, which I thought was amazing. Apparently, some of the things you couldn't see because cars were blocking it. But it just as far as like kind of adding a new level to your movie going experience, especially in a time where movie theaters for the most part are still closed down. Such a cool thing to see. Yeah, Doug Benson is probably one of the few. There's a lot of comics I stopped following. I unsubscribed to podcasts. I just stopped following on social media. There's a lot of comedians that decided recently, especially with this pandemic, that really are on the Joe Rogan side of things. I tried to rewatch Kill Tony recently, which is a podcast with Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redband. They had guests, Joe Rogan on. And one of the first things, like it's a podcast that I had to unsubscribe to because leading up to the election, Tony Hinchcliffe was going pretty hard right with his overwhelming love and support for Donald Trump, which he had been doing, but it really clicked up a few notches leading up to the election. So I had to unsubscribe. Also, they got rid of the band, which I thought was, one of the best parts of the thing. And also the thing that kind of kept it more of an even keel as far as politics go. But yeah, Rogan's thoughts on COVID are just take vitamins and move around a bit and you won't get sick, which I think is a completely ignorant and dangerous thing to be promoting. As somebody who pretends to be open-minded about science, I just found it disgusting. I turned it off, unsubscribed. I was just so done. But there's so many comedians that are in that vein of that ignorance where it's just like where they don't think it's, either they don't think it's real or they just don't think it's as big of a threat as it is. But it's kind of a bummer. Doug Benson not being one of those comedians as well. There's a lot of comedians that aren't on that bandwagon and that are treating this as serious as it should be treated. But yeah, it's comforting to know Doug Benson's one of those comics that I'm living in the same reality as. Let's put it that way. And it's cool to see that whole experience. Let's move on now to a little cartoon which I thought was funny. I reviewed the new Godzilla versus Kong movie on Monday, which I really enjoyed. Really fun monster movie, and this little cartoon is hilarious. You got Godzilla and King Kong sitting down, perched up against two buildings, smoking joints, and the quote is, "Looks like we legalized marijuana just in time," which is true. There's a lot of damage that happens to cities in the new Kong versus Godzilla. All right, let's move on to this last piece here. And this is a Asian American local leader, shows army scars in his. Is this patriotic enough video? Let's watch it now.
I'm 69 years old, and I'm going to show you what patriotism, the questions about patriotism looks like.
He's taking off his shirt. He's at a councilman meeting. He's got scars on his chest.
Here is my proof. This is sustained from my service in the U.S. military. Now, is this patriot enough? I'm not ashamed to walk around anymore. Before I felt inhibited. People look at me strange. And dare to question me my loyalty to this country. I don't look American enough. Now, last I read the U.S. Constitution, we the people, we are all the same. We are equal. Not this, you are more superior, you are not.
Yeah, the racism in this country, the anti-Asian hate in this country is absolutely disgusting, absolutely ridiculous. And his scars on his chest, they drew basically carved Asian eyes around his like nipples and his chest area. I'm sure, I don't know at what point while serving in the military that happened, but yeah, it's disgusting. The racism that's just kind of been fed by the previous president in the last 4 years, and just current members of in politics, people leading states, people in charge of making laws are not only racist, but have beliefs that are out of this world as far as conspiracies and other things. So let's stop the hate, people. If you see people being assholes, I saw a clip of some Asian woman getting kicked in the head by somebody being attacked from a security camera in like a hotel or some lobbies of some building. And everybody in the lobby just stood there and watched as it happened. It's like people need to step in and stop this shit. You see an elderly person getting beat up like by a young person. That is the most disgusting thing. Like just taking race out of it. That's just a disgusting way to use your life as a human, to be beating up an elderly person because you're fucking disgusting. You're a disgusting human. But yeah, let's do some shout outs and get out of here, shall we? Shout out to Coachella Valley, NPR, You Don't Know Doug, Ding Dong, the Cocaine Clown, and New Yorker Mag. But most importantly, shout out to you. Get yourself 2 free audiobooks when you go sign up with Audible through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. You get an additional book every month. You stay with the service, but 2 free books when you sign up. Use my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. You also get Audible Originals, guided wellness programs, news, and so much more. But get yourself 2 free books on me because you listen or watch The Ray Taylor Show by going through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!